If you go to NBC Sports Reno Air Races, like you
Yeah.
can watch them. They got it on video, him crashing it.
Could you see him go down?
Yeah.
Were you guys there?
Well,
That is crazy. God, I want to talk about the air race.
yeah.
Dude, that was kind of a cool story.
Did you watch this year's?
I did not, no. I want to go out there. I want to go to the air races.
So Pete was racing this year, and
Was it earlier this year?
it's the third week of September.
Okay,
so
yes.
just a
This
couple
is
weeks ago.
just a couple of weeks ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Something else happened again?
Yeah, so Pete's in the jet class. So these jets, are you guys familiar with the Reno Air races? So there's like 8 airplanes, and they run little small single engine pistons to like the P-51 Mustangs is like the unlimited class, and then there's the jet class, which are old trainer, like warbird trainers, so L-29s, L-39s. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but I owned one of the race planes back in 15, and Pete and I were partners on it. He was flying it and racing it, and we won. So it was pretty cool. We won their races. The next year we went back, and our airplane looked, if you Google a de Havilland Vampire, it looks completely different than most of them.
What is it?
De Havilland Vampire. Don't ask me how to spell de Havilland. But most of them are like a tandem, like the 2 pilots like this, and on the Vampire you'll see is a side-by-side with the weird tail.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, we won in 15. And
Click on it and bring it big.
In 16, the right side of the windshield, the canopy broke at 550 miles an hour.
The right side?
Yeah, and so it's like you had a broken windshield going 500 miles an hour. And so he pulled up out of the racetrack and realized, okay, I've got control of the airplane. He slowed it down, went to idle, and it's like, okay, I got control. And he went to turn to go. Yeah. Turned to go back to the runway and give it gas, and the engine had flamed out and couldn't get it restarted. My opinion is all the plexiglass ingested in the motor and took the motor out.
Yeah. That's a wild-looking plane.
It is. I have one still that needs to be restored, but did the most beautiful crash landing, like kept the gear up and just slid it in. If you go to NBC Sports Reno Air Races, like you can watch them. They got it on video, him crashing it.
Could you see him go down?
Yeah.
Were you guys there?
Well, what was scary is he was on the far side of the track, so he's probably 5 miles away from us.
Yeah.
And we knew he made it, and so I kept saying he's going down, and everybody's like, no, it's the other one. And they realized I was right, and all we see is this, like, what we thought was smoke, but it was all this dust. So his girlfriend starts crying, like everybody starts crying, and all the paramedics and fire trucks and everybody rushing out there. The race ended, just there was one lap left, and one of our buddies just raced over there, and we can hear all the racers talking to each other because we're in the pits.
Yeah.
And he goes, Pete's out of the jet. So now we're jumping up and down. We know he's alive. We have no idea, if he's hurt or whatever, but he's out of the jet. Half an hour later, no shit, he comes back in this black Suburban. They drop him off. He's got a shot of Jack Daniels because it's a tradition. If you survive a wreck at Reno, you drink a shot of Jack Daniels. Takes the shot, gives his girlfriend a big hug, comes and gives me a hug. He's like, I'm okay, but our jet's fucked. I was like, I don't care, you're alive. Like it buckled the whole thing in half.
Is that pretty fast?
Yeah, that's 600. Altitude 600 miles an hour. But we're at the Reno Air races.
You're low, aren't you?
50 to 250 feet. Like you're right over the ground. But what was sad this year, if you Google Reno Air Races 2022, on Sunday, the first place jet that was right in front of Pete crashed and died.
Are you serious?
Yeah, big old fireball. It was horrible. It's like any of those top ones. Or to go down, sorry, not that one. The one with the picture, the video.
Live stream.
Yeah.
Jet crash.
Yeah. It was so freaking sad.
You were there?
Yeah. So they canceled. They canceled, obviously, the rest of the races, and it was just a fireball. We think what happened is he was about to get past.
Yeah.
Again, 50 feet off the ground, and he's supposed to go around this pylon. Again, that's just my theory, but he was cutting it, and I think he he was looking at the other guy. It was that jet right there. And then he realized he was going to cut the pylon. If you cut the pylon, it's 8-second penalty. So you basically take last place. So he turned real quick up over this guy. And then I think he turned so fast violently back to get back into the race that they call it G-lock, where all the blood went out of his head and he fainted. Because if you watch it right here, like you're going to see him do a hard right turn. Like he's going to go, oh shit. Like he peeled way out.
Yeah.
And now he turns wicked back in, and then watch, he just goes. See
now
it
he's
right
wicked
there,
in.
and
yeah.
now
he's out.
We think because it's a controlled flight into terrain. I mean, just it was horrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How many are in that race?
8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
How do you start a race in air?
So they'll go out, and they'll all form up, and there's a pace plane. So the racetrack's here, and they'll go out about 10 miles, and they'll have the pace plane, and whoever qualified best, 1st to 8.
Oh, okay.
And then they'll come in, and the pace plane's watching them, and if they're all in line looking good, and he'll be barking. I'm like, race 24, they call them race 28, race 15, whatever.
Yeah.
It's interesting. That's what they call their numbers. Like race 24 is P. Like step it up or whatever. I mean, that just gives me the chills.
That's rough.
So then he'll line them all up, and they're about 600 feet off the ground. He'll take them down to about 200 feet off the ground. I go, gentlemen, you got to race, and he'll pill up, and then they're just going.
Are they stacked? Are they stacked like staggered?
Nope.
Or
so it's
just
all lined up
Just that fastest qualifier, or whatever has inside.
because he's got the inside.
He gets the inside.
Yeah. And so then it'll all kind of.
Everybody kind of
Falls
shuffles
in.
in the way that it goes.
But if you go to Google NBC Sports Reno Air Race.
NBC
Yeah.
Sports.
Reno Air Race. Type.
Is it here?
Try 16. And I think it's a 4-part series. So go to, or 3 of 3, go to 3 of 3. And if I remember right, this is, and you probably have to kind of just scroll forward to the jet race. It's probably like halfway.
Halfway for the jet race. Yeah, I don't know much about the events.
Okay, keep going.
Then you just peel it off and
Keep going. All right, leave it here. So that's my plan, right? What that? See the vampire? Watch
Yep.
out, vampire.
yep,
So here's.
he's going up. That's when that.
So what year is this?
2016.
Okay, yeah. So this is when he's Maydaying right here. So that's. So he's up here just trying to figure out what he's gonna do.
Getting altitude so he can check out what the hell's going on.
Yeah. It reduces airspeed. He wins it, I believe, race number 5. Yeah, Bandham won it. They're averaging about 6 Gs. So then he's out here. Let's see where we're at.
Can you have headsets on as spectators?
No,
So
but
you
if you're
can't
in
hear?
if you're in the jet pits where we sat for this race,
Yeah,
you could hear it.
you can hear it. Was this where the canopy, the right side canopy went in?
Yeah, so it's already broken.
solid seat cover on that plane. It looks like one of those like rubber.
What's that bar behind his head?
Emergency canopy release.
Is that
So
what it
this is actually a Vampire here, but it's the other Vampire. See, and it was the right above his right. So
Yep.
on the right side is what broke. So that's the other. Yeah, that's
And is that's are all Vampires side by side seating?
yeah. So this is him crashing right here.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, that's a pretty smooth crash.
Look at that.
He's
Two
thinking,
2-4s going in the desert. So
It looks smooth, but I bet it wasn't.
Oh,
I bet
hell
it was
no,
a
dude.
hell of a ride.
especially
But so like all we know is he crashed and
especially as the speed starts getting slower, you're going to start kind of wanting to tumble. Dude, this was fun. I appreciate you coming on, dude.
thanks for having me, Kade. It's awesome.
It means a lot, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Cool.